Hey everyone, Coach Ha here with the Ha Boost channel. It's been a while. I've been tied up and busy, and I didn't want to be consumed with trying to get back on social media and that sort of thing. So that's one thing probably going to get for me is I'm not going to get caught up with the rat race of trying to keep up with social media, that sort of thing. I do want to talk about one thing to maybe shift your mind and your way of thinking is you heard about fasting. Fasting. I'm not going to talk about fasting in a way for nutrition. I'm going to talk about fasting like fasting from social media, from the noise, from politics, the news, from environments, from certain people, things in this world, certain fasting. And so fasting from our phone or devices, from TV. I'm just going to throw some things out there. Yes, food, certain things, drinks that we need to fast from, but we don't really capture the other element of sometimes we just need to fast away from certain things. The rush, fasting from the rush of always rushing around, uh, and so like getting up. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta look after. There's so many things. I've got to get in my 10,000 steps. Anything you can think of. A lot of times, yes, it's awesome that we're doing a lot of things for the good and with good intentions. However, sometimes we just need to slow down and fast. Fast from the noise, fast from the rush. And sometimes there are people that we're listening to that we just need to have our own space to have a creative space to think or just have a moment to breathe, to reset, to recharge. And when we're able to reset and recharge, then we can come back in it with better, clear mind, or as best as we can to tackle that challenge or to look after somebody, to care for someone. And so just having that moment. So an example would be, I realize, uh, yeah, there's moments that we're gonna be in the survival stage, survival mode. There's gonna be things that we're just gonna have a responsibility to make sure we're tackling things, with work, with family obligations, friends, that sort of thing. Those are things that will come. Uh, but we also need to have a bit of awareness and flexibility as well, and adaptation, that's the other word, to also have a moment to, we actually need to fast from some of these things, the noise, the rush, everything that we're trying to, the expectations of people. So fast from the noise, the rush, and the expectations of life or people or influences, people pleasing, those sort of things that can come in our way. And just having a moment to pause, reset, recharge, reflect, that goes a long way. And so if you haven't yet, go back to some of my videos that on this Ha Boost channel, subscribe, like this video, maybe make a comment, anything that stands out, any takeaways, any aha moments, gold nuggets that you can grab from this video or any of my other videos, will be helpful. And so I'm just kind of giving you a different mindset, change perspective on things, because I have the opportunity, honor, and the blessing to be able to coach, with a great, amazing coaching company online, and be able to coach and also learn, not just only be a leader, teacher, but also the student, also exploring and also learning from other aspects of people's journeys in life. And so I have people that I coach from 30 to all the way up to 90 plus in years, in a beautiful age. And so everyone shows up, and as long as they put in the effort, we're able to take each step. And so it's great to learn from each other, and having those valuable lessons and insights from their work, their work and their walk and their journey is just a very big blessing. Those challenges are opportunities, oppositions are opportunities, and so it's still a great teacher. For so, just giving you a heads up, kind of the experience that I'm also coming behind it, it allows me to have a bit more discernment and wisdom along the way. So, but yeah, fasting from noise, fasting from the rush, fasting from the expectations as well. I definitely want to leave you with that. One example I'll give you is I had to kind of, there's ways that I have to find ways to protect my energy, my time. I realize those are things that are valuable, because I realize if I am running empty, there's that burnout. And so I learned the word from my partner. I'm good for nothing if I'm just running low and empty and just running myself down. And so there's certain things I had, these are steps you have to work up to. I mean, it sounds like it's a grand climb for some to understand it, but this is something that we can take little steps as well to it. And so one step that I ended up doing for me, just a perspective and idea, is I realize I've been consistently over time, and things don't happen overnight. Where we are at today did not happen overnight. So where we want to be is not going to happen overnight. So think about that. So we have to put in the reps, take one step at a time. So one of the little things I started doing that I realized I've been consistently doing, as soon as I wake up, I would grab my phone, grab my device. I would look, and it could be like work stuff. It could be just, anything from the media, from work or something like that. Even though, we get our phone to try to decompress and detox, there are some obligations that we immediately get into. And we haven't really fasted from the noise, from the media, that sort of thing. So one of the things I started doing this morning was, as soon as I get up, I know it takes me about maybe 30 minutes to get ready. So why not just not have my phone, just put my phone out here in my workstation, and then just go inside the restroom, get ready, that sort of thing for 30 minutes. And that way I'm fasting for 30 minutes. And so there's that tie-in, that habit stacking that I'm doing. And that little thing makes a world of recharging. That way you're not constantly being bombarded with just the constant obligations of those things, trying to keep up with everything, if that makes sense. So think about that. So that's one thing, an example. I'm sure there's others that you may have an example, but that's just one thing that I started doing as far as fasting as well. There's other things. I do want to share one other thing, and then I kind of will let you off on your own with your own world as well. So there was something that a client shared. Someone shared about a loved one making comments about their healthy choices, and I wanted to share this with y'all. I really felt what she shared. So I grew up with a mom, and I loved her to death. I love her so much. Don't think anything less. But we're gonna have people that we're just gonna not be in line with. Our life is gonna be a bit different. So I grew up with a mom who would always have something negative to say, the words of judgment or disappointment. So in the past, it would hurt. It hurt. But at some point, I had to ask myself, whose life am I living? Hers or mine? So I chose to follow my heart and live based on my decisions, not someone else's opinions that wouldn't lead me towards the health, dreams, and the life I wanted. Over time, she definitely calmed her farm. And that's something a phrase that I learned from my partner that's in Australia. That's something that they use. And so I started using that. So at the end of the day, we respect and love each other even when we don't agree. That's strength. You can love someone deeply and still choose differently. Okay, so this applies to food as well. If you encounter friends, family making odd, judgmental, unsupported comments about your choices, remember, they are not on the same journey as you. They don't feel what you feel. They don't see what you're building. Stay steady stay kind, stay grounded in your why. You don't need their understanding to keep going. So this is what steady looks like, and it's powerful. Hopefully this was helpful. I just want to let you know, for those who keep showing up for themselves, putting in the effort to be the best version of yourselves, I'm really proud of you. God bless. Take care. Bye for now.